Hello, everyone, and welcome to Divine Messages. My name is Polly Wirum, and I have my wonderful co-host, Max Ryan, and today we are joined by two wonderful guests, Amanda and Kirsten. And this show is all about receiving divine messages. And so typically what happens is there'll be some universal messages. It's completely unrehearsed, unscripted, as you can ask the lovely ladies who will be on later on. So whatever comes to us, we share. And so unrehearsed, unscripted, we just share what we get. There's going to be messages, universal messages that can fit everybody, all of our lives right now, because this is definitely an exciting time in our life. There will be messages directly for Kirsten and Amanda, but I will say that when you tune in to this, however, whatever time, there's something in it for you also, because that's how the universe works. There's always messages for us, and so we talk a lot about how we receive divine messages and how we share them. And so I'm going to introduce, and actually I'll say really fast. So I'm Polly Wirum. My website is gateways2peace.com, and that is with the number 2. So gateways2peace.com. And here is the lovely Max Ryan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's so great to be here again. This is our 6th episode. We're so excited about that. We have been so blessed to have, I guess it's 12 people now, right, Polly? 12 people to be on our panel. And we are so thrilled that you tune in to us each week and get a message for yourself or for your family to help you in your life, because the messages that we give are not from us, you know, even though both of us are trained life coaches and we help people in many ways. In this show, all we're doing is we're opening ourselves up to the divine source so that we can give you a message, and our guest, Kirsten and Amanda, today. So it is wonderful to have you here. So sit back, relax, listen, absorb, and just take it all in, because we know that divine messages, which is the name of the show, divine messages apply to everyone, because they're usually messages that will help us to grow, help us to shift, and help us to come back to our heart, and help us to come back to love. We love love here. So my name is Max Ryan. I'm the creator and founder of AttractPositiveResults.com, where I help people to move in their life from an association of fear and anxiety and stress to an association of positive results, of course, and flow and ease and love. That's what I do, and I do it by this show. I do it by working with people one-on-one. I also do private readings with people, and I do it in a number of different ways. So it's just an honor to be of service to you. So what we usually do at the beginning of our show, to establish the mood, establish an energetic force to come in, is we use prayer, because prayer is the medium of miracles. And of course, in miracles, which I teach and I have studied for 30 years, a miracle is just a shift in our perception. And when we say a prayer, we shift our perception towards light, towards good, and towards all positive, peaceful things. So we are going to say a prayer in this moment. So if you're watching us, please shut your eyes right now. Take a big, deep breath. Dear Mother, Father God, Divine Source, Universe, all that is, we come together today with open hearts, open minds, and an open spirit. We allow today to be a time of love and support and guidance for everyone watching the show, everyone watching the replay of the show, and of course for Amanda and Kirsten. We ask that this time that we spend together be in the reverence and in the honor of the highest vibration of love, in the highest vibration of carrying peace into the world, carrying peace into our inner and outer lives, and to be a beautiful example and radiance of love and light and the divine itself, whatever you call that. And together we take a big, deep breath of life. And we say, thank you very much. So it is. Amen. Nice. I hope that you felt a little shift in that prayer if you did it with us, because all we're looking for in the work that Polly and I do is we're just looking for a little shift, a little relief, a little... So, good. All right, Polly, are you excited about today?
I am, and thank you so much, Max. I already feel wonderful, and that lovely space that I go into with prayers and meditation. So thank you. Thank you.
Me too.
So do you want to start with the universal message, or would you like me to?
I'm kind of open right now, I have to say.
Okay, let me go.
Go ahead.
Because I was just starting to get something. So I feel like it's really important for people to hear the need for simplicity. So it doesn't have to be so complex, and I feel like this is also more for one of our two members today. And I'll tell you when later on. I'll share with you later on with that. But I feel like the need for simplicity. So looking for answers and almost looking like looking through a book or looking for these answers of almost like what's the meaning of life, or something that you feel like is the direction you're supposed to go, and you're working so hard to see what it is, to see and what you should be doing next in your life, where actually if you just let go, it would just unfold. And so this really is this time to pay attention, to follow your heart, to follow how you feel, and you're going to be hearing a lot of things, like a lot of people telling you, you need to do this, you need to do this. Disregard that. Kirsten, I think that's more for you. Disregard that, and you've got to listen to what's going on inside. And I feel like, and Kirsten, I'm just going to go into this with you because I was picking this up. So for you, but I mean, everybody pay attention to the simple, to the simplify your life. But for you, I feel like you're like literally looking in a book and trying to like say, okay, what am I supposed to be getting out of this? This doesn't even make sense to me, and and kind of frustrated. So I don't know if you're in school or what the situation is. I know that there's other people talking to you. I feel like there's an easier answer for you. Like, number one, don't pay attention to what people are telling you, because there's a lot of it. And there's even, I feel like there's some younger guys that are like your friends or whatever, but they're almost kind of teasing you and kind of like maybe even making fun of you being serious about trying to do this stuff, trying to do well in school or whatever. I feel like I actually feel that whatever direction you're in right now is going to change a little bit. So are you already starting looking at a different direction?
Not really. I don't know. I'm kind of like not in any direction.
Okay, well, there's something that you're working on, and I feel like it's studying. There's something that you're working on really hard. You're not doing criminal justice or something like that, are you?
I was considering it.
Okay. So
of course you were.
Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like if there's any way that you can, because that actually feels okay to me. Like when I said that, I feel like I can breathe. It gives me breathing room.
Yeah.
So explore that. So I guess the big thing is, and yes, explore the criminal justice thing, because otherwise I would not have heard that. Explore the criminal justice thing. And I think it's allowing yourself to have more, pay attention to the way you feel. And also, like, sometimes when you feel like things are closing in on you and you don't even have room to make a choice, it's at those times that literally just take a step back. And if you can go for a walk by yourself or whatever, but remember that it's your life. And you've got to do what's good for you. But the criminal justice thing, as soon as I said it, I started feeling more open. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll see if Max has...
Okay, I actually, I had picked a card for Kirsten.
Mm-hmm.
Kirsten, right?
Kirsten.
Kirsten.
Yeah.
Kirsten. I had picked a card for you from the very beginning when I first saw you, and it's so interesting because the cards never lie. The cards never lie, and it's interesting. We're gonna come back to this other universal message in a second, but I have to address this. I picked the Three of Pentacles for you. Now, the Three of Pentacles is all about developing your skill. It's all about learning. It's all about kind of working towards what you need to do so you can get to the level at which you are ready to go out into the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, definitely.
If you look at the card is somebody building and building and working and honing their skill. And I think that that's exactly, it's so funny that you said that, Polly, because, you know, it's like this idea that she is in this place of it's like, okay, I've got to work, I got to make it right, I have to make it work, I'm going to get my skill, and I have a good vibration with that criminal justice thing too. I think I really have to really, thank you. When I say thank you, my guide is coming in, his name is Gawain. He's telling me, yeah, she has, oh, okay. You have a quicker mind than you think. You don't think that your mind is as capable as it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
You underestimate yourself and your intellect. I hear it very strongly. Your intellectual capacity, and so So what this card is saying is that you really have the capacity, but it's definitely time for you to get the skills to do the work because the Pentacles is all about work and finances and business. So it is the time for you to gather all that. And I also sense for you that there's a vibration of this is going to sound negative, but it's really not. A vibration of being lost. There's a vibration of being lost.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that loss is, you know what? That loss is just, you have too many things that you think that you should be doing. And that's the problem. You need to just go for the things that feel like, oh, I'll do that. That sounds good. I'll do that. Because I think that your ego is kind of like, oh, well, maybe I should do that. 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 And I would say also, too, I do get a very strong vibration from you that you would be very good as a presentational. Possibly, it doesn't mean this really, but an actress or somebody in front of a camera.
Yeah.
That's something that have you been thinking about that?
No, not really. I would have no clue where to start. I mean, I think it would be really cool, but I don't really have like the resources.
Right, and I don't think that that's your main thing. Does that make sense? I don't think that's your main thing. I think that you would be very good. It's kind of like what Polly and I are doing right now. I mean, not the same, but you'd be good in front of the camera. People would believe you. People would like you immediately. You have an air about you that's very soft, and people will be like, oh, I want to hear what she has to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, definitely.
I mean, and obviously, I mean, physically, you're a very appealing-looking woman, and so I think that, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, you could use that to your advantage. But what Polly said was so true. The criminal justice, which really represents really getting your intellect in the right place first.
Right.
Right.
And then on
Go
that.
ahead, Polly.
Kirsten, is that I actually feel, so I'll see shoes sometimes in regards to like how people work. And so in regards to the criminal justice, I definitely feel that that's good. I actually feel that it's, you will do a branch off of that, and I feel that you will be like on the peripheral, like things will be happening, you're on the peripheral and you're taking notes, because I literally see you taking notes. And so if that led you to journalism, maybe, but whatever it is that you do, you literally, and you have a partner, you literally are there. I see the shoes that require, anyhow, the work shoe that require you walking stuff. You're taking notes, and the notes, so how Max is talking about you, the way you think, your notes, it's almost like you take this information and you figure out why people are doing what they're doing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Because you kind of take something and turn it around and make it easier for other people to understand. It's like you take something, you turn it around, and you make it bigger.
Right, right. Yeah, I totally get that.
So that's definitely the direction I see would be really easy for you. It's a natural thing for you. It wouldn't feel like work, and you're just going to be led in the right direction. I mean, it's really fun. It's exciting.
Yeah, I definitely want an exciting profession.
It's exciting because there's a lot going on, and it's exciting for sure. So definitely it's the criminal justice. It's tied to that, but it's like a little branch off. It's exciting.
Okay.
So go for that.
All right, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a question? No. What were you going to say?
Hold on a second. I'm still pulling cards for you, and I'm in your vibration. So I use cards and I listen. So this other card that I picked it makes complete sense. You get the Five of Rods. This is the Five of Rods that I just picked for you. The Five of Rods is all about this idea that your ego is trying to figure out how to be materially successful. How do I become materially successful?
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to show this to you really quick. I mean, I love the cards because the cards don't lie. And if you can see, it's hard to see, but it says on here, strenuous competition for material success. And that strenuous competition for material success is actually your block. Just do the thing that feels good. I'm going to come back to that criminal justice thing, and I wanted to chime in here because I do believe that Spirit is definitely telling you, you know what, you already know. You already know. Yeah. And it comes back to what Polly was saying about the simplicity. Don't make it so complicated. Really don't make it so complicated. You actually have a great mind, and you can definitely do a lot of wonderful things. I see you in social justice, actually.
Yeah. What do you mean exactly by social justice?
Like being in some kind of a law, that is not corporate law, that is about, maybe it's, it's something about law that's fighting for the rights of immigrants, law that's fighting for the rights of other kinds of people that are marginalized, or maybe fighting for the rights of people that have been kind of screwed by corporations. I see you more in that place than a corporate kind of. That doesn't feel right. I feel you because you have a big heart, and your heart is going to, you can use your heart and your intelligence to help more people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I think you have a big heart, and I think that it bleeds for people that don't have advantage, or people that, or just, you're able to, and I think that you're young, and as you move along in your life, you're going to be even more, you're going to have even more, wow. I just said that, I just heard that you're going to go to NYU.
Never considered it.
I think the East, I forget where you are.
I live in Virginia.
Oh,
I know people who I think will go to NYU, like other people like that are my age, but I never considered it.
You need to be in an environment with a lot of activists.
Okay.
A lot of people that feel strongly about social justice.
Okay.
So.
I will say, when I told you, Kirsten, that I saw you in like the shoes, the walking shoes type thing, and you're taking notes, I will say that it totally, the image that I saw totally supports what Max is saying. But I see it more like on a street level. So some of the stuff, like if you have riots or you have protests or you just have people that are coming unglued, there's like, and we have it right now in our country.
Yeah.
You're not in it. You're not like waving the flag, but you are there witnessing. You are aware of it. You're witnessing. It's almost like you're on the other side. You're watching. You're taking notes, and you understand why it's happening, but you're not in it. You understand, and you're totally like kind of amazed by it.
Yeah.
And you share that. I mean, it's almost like those are the tools in your toolbox.
Right. I like that makes a lot of sense because I have a big interest in like current events and like foreign policy and whatnot. So I always watch the news every single day, like multiple times a day. I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be on the people. The stuff that you get caught up in is going to be on the people. It's not like some environmental oil spill. It's not a whatever. It's on, I mean, it could
heart.
be, but
it's from the heart level.
On the people.
On the compassion level. Yeah. Yeah, it's so, I completely agree with that. And I feel like it is interesting because when we were going to do our divine message, the overall message, I was guided to pull out the Mary cards, and the Mary cards, and I'll talk about this in just a second when we get that. But I think that has something to do with you, is that you have because Mary really stands for compassion. It's all about compassion. She is all about compassion, and I think that you have a great capacity to really understand and empathize with people. And I think that it's a wonderful thing. And I definitely could see you at some point after you really do your work, which comes back to this card. After you do your work, you get your skills. I could definitely see you being definitely like a legal humanitarian correspondent on television.
Yes. Or journalism. Yes.
Yeah, journalism.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's a legal thing involved.
I'm actually taking a class in journalism this year.
Yes, it's good for you. Because the other thing is, even though, and then we're like beating the dead horse, but even though, but I just want to say the other thing, like when you see the riots or you see the whatever, you are aware of it, and because you're human, you like the humanistic story, but you don't get lost in it. You are able to look at it clinically, or however you want to say it. You don't get lost in it.
Okay.
And that's the intellectual side that your brain has the capacity to do, which is beautiful.
Yes.
Really great. I keep seeing, and then we're going to wrap up for a second. I keep seeing the woman on CNN, Christiane Amanpour. Do you know who she is?
No.
You need to look her up. But her name is Christiane Amanpour, one of the greatest reporters, but a journalist, but so smart and so well read and so very, very detail oriented, and she's amazing. Looks very different, but there's an integrity that you have that she has, which I would support you in going in that direction. For sure. All right. I just feel like I need to come back to, and then at the end we'll come back and we'll ask if you want to ask any more questions. And I do want to say that your great grandmother is around you. Now let's say this. Okay. So I pulled this card when I pulled the Mary cards. Is that the divine message that I'm getting for everyone here? Is that I was like, what's the message? They're like, the cards are right there. Pick the card. And I picked this card. And I think it's a beautiful card. This is the Grace card. The Grace. You know, it's very important in this day and age with the shootings, with the refugees, with the Donald Trumps and the Hillary Clintons, with the craziness that's happening in the world on a mass scale, that we are responsible for bringing grace into our life. We're responsible for bringing the sense of the divine, the sense of everything is working out. I was talking to a friend of mine, thank you. I was talking to a friend of mine just a little while ago, and she's going through a very, very hard time. I mean, it's pretty epic what she's going through. And I just said, you know what, this is a call for grace. And I picked the Grace card because I think that we're all being tested in our lives, and I think that humanity is being tested very, very strongly right now to be like, how are you going to walk through this situation? Are you going to walk through it defending? Are you going to walk through it angry? Are you going to walk through it resistant? Or are you going to walk through your life with grace? when you walk through your life with grace, ooh, I get such chills in this moment. My guide's like, yeah, you're right on target. When you walk through your life with a sense of grace, everything is different. And the more of us, I don't know, I see that there's actually a few live viewers right now. If all of us walk through our life, no matter what is happening on the outside, with a sense of grace, oh my gosh, the whole world would change in an instant. Everything would change in an instant. But we are not choosing to walk through grace, through life with grace. We're choosing to walk through life pushing against all these horrible things. You don't need to push against. We don't need to push against. We need to just walk with the grace that all of the amazing spiritual teachers that lived before us, and not even spiritual teachers, people in your own family who walked through the world with grace, have done it before. We take a lead from that. And at this time, in this space, right now, we walk through our lives, step by step, full of grace, full of love, and compassion. And as we do that, that is how the world and humanity rises to the next level of its evolutionary scale of brilliance and light. And I want to come back to Kirsten. Kirsten, I think that this has a lot to do with it's either your grandmother or your great-grandmother. Which one were you close to?
I haven't really ever been really close to my grandparents in like the living, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go over to like when my a few years ago, like when I was really young, like a little kid, I guess. My parents would always go to West Virginia to visit my mom's grandmother, so I think it's my great-grandmother.
Yeah, I think that this is your great-grandmother, and I think that your great-grandmother is very much in your vibration. And I get this a lot. It's so interesting. I feel like, I don't know if you've seen pictures of her, but I think that your face is similar to hers, and she has a grace about her.
Oh, that actually could be my dad's grandmother.
Okay. It's whoever has your face who kind of walks through the world. There's a grace about her. Nothing kind of will faze her. She won't let anything like the craziness of the world show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm. There's a sophistication and a grace that she's like, I will not let that happen. I will just keep living. She was probably a very religious person, very connected. Is that true?
I think so. I don't know too much. I'm sorry about
That's okay. You're going to find out after we're done. You're going to do some research because I think that there is something about you that's very similar to her. And the message is for you, and it's also for all the viewers. Walk through the world with more grace, and that is your contribution to the world. How you are many times is much more important than what you do. So how you are. You walk through the world with grace and love and compassion and support instead of pushing against and saying how horrible things are.
Yeah.
Okay? Good. All right. I wanted to get that in. Polly, what would you like?
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to the simplicity, because if you move through life looking at it as most simplest form, very simple form, which is really, the essence of love inside of us. And I feel like, we grab hold of, should guns be legal? Should they not be legal? We grab hold of all these, these things that are going on right now. And it sends us into a little tailspin. Whereas if, myself included. And so if we let go of all that stuff and really simplify our life and just pay attention to the way we feel and pay attention to the peace in our life, and and the peace inside my body and then in my family, and that it expands, is much more beneficial than me getting all caught up about some political thing.
But stating and being honest and truthful, this is what I'm getting to. Being truthful and honest about what we stand for. What we stand for. I just want to say.
Yeah. Okay. I have something for Amanda when it's time.
Sure. It's always time.
Okay, so
Always time.
Amanda, so even before I logged on, I was getting somebody that like really likes, there's like music and there's dancing and there's like really like the type of dancing that is like your whole entire body dancing type thing and really having fun. So I was getting that, and then I was also looking at you, and you are going to, I don't know if you're planning a move. I don't necessarily think you're planning a move, but you are going to start like a journey. So when I've seen like a nomadic journey person before, like somebody she literally was homeless. I don't see you as a homeless person, but
please no.
No, but I do see you starting a quest for answers, is what I'm hearing. A quest for answers where you're changing this, like if you imagine wearing or putting a backpack on and you put the stuff on that you're going to use all day, what you put into your backpack completely changing. And I actually do see like some type of small move for you, more of a move than a trip. It could be I feel like there's a move coming up for you. But it's literally like you pay attention to the music in your life, that joy, because that's you. That's your joy. That's when you're expressing your full freedom type thing. That's you. That's a wonderful, joyful expression for you. But you have like this mystical side thing that's going to be coming out, and that is going to be the journey. And I'm hearing follow. So do you read like a horoscope or something like that? Do you do astrology?
I sometimes look at astrology. Like
But not really.
Aries. Not really, but I definitely identify with my horoscope. I'm an Aries, like April 7th, like full on. There's no in between kind of thing. And also, I guess I would say the journey coming up, I'm doing yoga teacher training. It'll start in a couple weeks.
Okay, perfect. And I'm hearing follow your stars. And so that's why I thought of the astrology thing. But I feel like there's certain, you are guided, and it could be family. I don't think it's family. You are guided by, there are people, you actually have this source of people saying, yeah, that's perfect for you. Or, you have this, what am I looking for? You have these people that you can depend on to really see who you are, and they give you good guidance, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it's very important. I have a lot better like circle now. It's smaller, but of just like people I know, I could be myself.
Yes, they are absolutely good. That little circle of friends, the little dance group, the little circle of friends, you're very good for you. And express your joy.
Dance group.
Well, I saw her like.
Well, I don't have a dance group, but
I saw her like doing the dance, like full on, like yeah.
It's a little 60s over here now.
I love that. I need to jump in really quickly because when you said there's two people around her, I just pulled cards. I'm in the card pulling mode. I just follow spirit, and I pulled 3 cards for you, but I had 2 of them. There's 2 men in your life that are very strong influencing you, that are, I don't know if they are lovers of you, or maybe it's a husband and a father or a best friend, but Amanda, there are 2 men around you, right, that are very, very strong.
Well, it's going to be my husband and then my father, but my father, that's been a little bit I guess tumultuous as of late.
Yeah, conflict. Mm-hmm. He is the Knight of Rods. He's the Knight of Rods. There's 2 men around you, and your father is the Knight of Rods. You see how it's upside down?
Yeah.
Do you know the tarot?
No, but I'm just saying he's been upside down the last few months or so.
He's been upside down, and this is a man that's in conflict. He is kind of all about division. He's all about. There's something about him. Well, we all need to heal, but there's something of. his division and his conflict is impeding on your bubble. Do you know what I'm saying?
For
it's
sure.
impeding on your bubble. And that's
Yeah.
what he was the first one that I pulled up. And so okay, let me move to him. Let me move to your husband. Okay. Your husband also comes up inverted, upside down, which means your husband needs some advice. He's looking for some help. He needs a little bit of, there's a professional part of him that needs a mentor, that needs someone to say, hey, what's his name?
Christopher.
Yeah. He's a great guy. But there's something upside down about him, too. He needs a little direction. He needs somebody, and it might be that somebody's coming for him soon. And I feel like it's a experienced man. I have no idea I'm just telling you what's coming in. Is that there's a man, he needs some kind of like we'll say a business mentor that says, hey, this is what you should do, Christopher. Do it like I do it. Come on, we're going to do this. Because I feel like he's at a point where he could be, he's at the verge on some level of being like, I could be super successful, or I could kind of start going backwards. He's right here. Does that make sense, Amanda?
Yes, especially since like the last couple jobs, they didn't fit right. This one is fitting, but he was looking for mentors a little bit to go to another degree, I guess, to help in there. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see where that goes. But I haven't been like, you go find that person.
No, that's not your job.
That's your thing. Yeah, that's not my job. All
I'm doing is picking up what he needs. What he's thinking. I'm picking up that he does really want to have someone to be like, okay, Christopher, take my hand. We're going to do this. I got to figure it out. I forget what it's called. I just flashed on this. There's an organization that's a mentoring organization that I'm going to, let me write it down. I will get it for you. Hold on. Business mentors. Okay. There is an organization that helps people by it's like Big Brother, Big Sisters, that matches business people with people that are retired already and have been successful. So what they do is they take someone like Christopher and say, oh, you're going to be with Charles. And Charles goes, oh, this is great. You're going to do what I'm almost positive it doesn't cost anything. So they do it because they want to pass on their knowledge to younger generations. Does that make sense, Amanda?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Has he tried to do any of those things?
He's tried more just for he's a social worker in geriatric care. So he's been trying to
big heart.
Yeah, and see if he should go back to school or try to school for like the doctorate, or to have you need a mentor in that with the doctorate. So I mean, at this point, like you said, it's not my job, but I'm like fully supportive wherever he wants to go.
Right. Oh my God. I do have to say this really quickly, and for all the viewers, is that, when you do a reading, sometimes it's more important that I get the information to Amanda to get the information to her husband than for Amanda. I don't know. But I do know that he is in a place, he is really a good heart. He's got a big heart. He's a great guy. He tries to organize things a little too much, actually, and that's okay. But just know that I will send you after the show. I'm going to find out what that mentorship program is, and hopefully that it will help him, because he really is in a place of shifting and changing. And before I throw it over to Polly, is that I pick up for you the Hermit card, and the Hermit card is all about you. Oopsie. All about you. I know, I thought I spilled my drink. It's all about you going back to being like, what makes sense to me? What's the thing that feels the best for me? And I think this has to do with your yoga teacher training. You finally have been like, this feels better for me, so I'm going to go there. The Hermit card is going inside yourself and asking yourself, what is the best thing? What's the best thing? Does that make sense, Amanda?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. I think the yoga teacher training is a great, my guide is saying, he's like, that's a great start. It's a great start. It's not your end, I think, and he's agreeing with me right now. That's not your be-all and end-all. It's going to be something more and bigger, or something different. But the yoga teacher training is going to be exactly what you need to do right now to get you to the next step. Okay, Polly, I'm going to shut up because I know.
Okay, so regarding your fiance, I saw bigger shoes, meaning that he's going to have more responsibility, and I kind of saw, you know, as you guys are older. I feel like school, you know, probably school, but definitely he's going to be into where he's overseeing. He's in a management position.
Awesome.
So bigger shoe, he has more responsibility, but I see that when he's older and he's super grounded and he's almost kind of like, I mean, it'll be funny, but he's almost kind of like settled, like, you know, this is the way it is, almost like where he becomes like so settled into exactly how it is because he's successful and he knows he's successful type thing. But anyhow. So now to you, I just realized I got to plug my thing in. To you, I'm seeing, so going back to those stars, and there's something like with sisters, and I'm seeing like 6 or 7 stars or something, and they're purple. So if that doesn't mean anything to you, like with the yoga training, and something about sisters is important. But I believe that you are moving into a more mystical time in your life. So this yoga training thing is just kind of the beginning, because that's probably why I saw the little thing that you're carrying on your back. You're getting rid of your backpack, and you've got your, you know, it's very mystical with the guidance you're receiving. And I feel like, I don't know if you have good girlfriends right now, but you are going to have good like it's almost like I have a, you know, the spiritual group every Sunday. I have other little groups, and it's almost like you have this group of spiritual girlfriends where you kind of work, like, you know, and the tarot, you know, doing tarot cards, like you have this group where you kind of explore this metaphysical stuff, and it really becomes important to you. So not just the yoga training, like the positions of yoga. I'm talking about the, you know,
The mental. Yeah.
the spiritual.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about that intuitive stuff.
Right.
The intuitive, the tarot, the astrology, all that really cool, lovely stuff. You're going to have a really nice support group.
The witchy woo stuff.
Yeah, that's coming to
TV
you.
Nick stuff.
I love it. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my big thing. I got to plug my computer in. So does that make sense to you?
I mean, yes, and the last yoga teacher training had a lot of women in it, so potentially, yes. I don't know who joined yet, but potentially, yes.
And are the groups very big, or are they kind of small?
It's usually like 7 or 8, it looks like.
Because I'm seeing 6 or 7, and I see that they're like these bright, they're like super supportive for you. So that's probably what I'm seeing. It's 6 or 7 people, super supportive. I see them as like little bright purple lights. They're like you could say soul sisters right now or something. Like you're really, there might be one guy in there, but you're really, it's this, and it's fun. It's this great energy.
Yeah, it's
I love purple, so we're good.
Of course you do. I just pulled another card for you because I'm in a card mode today. I don't know why, but I was shuffling the cards and shuffling, and I was like, and I'm like, this is the one. And don't freak out, everyone. Do not freak out. But I pulled this card, and I'm going to explain what it is first before I show it to you.
I know exactly what you're going to do.
This card is all about spiritual understanding. This card's all about a shift in your whole paradigm. This is all about letting go of the old and understanding, like really the Godhead of the world, really the light of everything that's happening. And I pulled this for you right when we were talking about this depth of meaning, and it's not just the poses; it's something more than all of that stuff. Because this is me talking right now. There is a plethora and a gluttony of people that say they're yoga people that are not very spiritual, and they're just being like, whoa, it's really the trendy thing to do. You're not in that camp at all. At all. So you get the devil card turned upside down. The opposite of the devil is God. The opposite of devil is spiritual understanding. The opposite of the devil is really getting what's going on in the most mystical, beautiful way. Does that make sense, Amanda?
Yes. I was like, devil, geez, I listen to certain music sometimes, but geez.
but here's, even, you know what, even the devil card when it's right side up isn't always mean the devil. But it's really, it's the opposite. When it's inverted, it's always the, not always, but it really is telling you that you're looking in the other direction. You're looking in a place that's like, wow, I'm looking, well, the devil is really looking where?
Down, yes.
When it's inverted, you're looking up. You're looking up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it, it's the pentacle. Do you see it right there?
Mm-hmm.
The pentacle has its fifth, the fifth point pointing towards the sky. When it's the pentagram, the point is pointing down. So
okay.
We might have lost some viewers just now because they might think that we're crazy, but that's okay. That's okay.
I know some pagans. It's okay.
Oh, I'm okay with pagans, please. I love pagans and I love Wiccans too, for sure. So it's all good. But just know that you got it where the pentagram, pentacle, is pointing towards the heavens. So I wanted to tell you that. I wanted to give you that. Okay?
Okay, and I actually pulled a card for you also, and it's from the Angel, Doreen Virtue's Angel deck, and Radley Valentine. And it's indicating, I feel like there's a decision that you've been putting off, like a kind of a complex decision that you've been putting off. So, and it could be with your father. Like, here's what I feel energetically. I feel like your life, 90% of it, you're like moving forward. You're super easy. Mm-hmm. There's like, well, I'll even say 80%. There's like 20% that's kind of like stuck, that's not moving forward, and you have to decide, I don't know if it's to do with your father, whatever it is, but you have to decide, okay, am I going to handle this now? Because it's something you've kind of put on the back burner. And you have that conversation and let it go so that you can fully take all of you forward. Instead of 80% of you, instead there's something like kind of always nagging in the back of your mind. Have that conversation and let it go. So, I mean, here's the thing. It could, quite frankly, even be with your fiance. There's just a conversation that needs to take place. And it's really something that's been on your mind, something you think about a lot, something that's, I actually hear an event, something that's on your mind a lot that you need to share. And you share and it's all good.
Is that your fiance or your husband?
Oh, it's my fiance. Husband in November.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I just wanted to...
Yeah, so, you know what, is there something that you're concerned about with the wedding?
Yeah, well, I'll just explain slightly real quick. My dad resent his invitation, and I called him on it, and he hanged up the phone on me. He has done that in the past. I can't let go of his repetitive patterns from the past while he's saying, oh, I'm changing, oh, I'm this. And it's like, actually, the actual fact here, it's reoccurring. I can't stop you from doing that, obviously. Yeah. And then I called him, tried to resolve the problem and just see if his side is coming to the wedding, because I haven't heard from any of them, so I don't know if they're just falling in line. And he's just like, well, I didn't resend it. And I'm like, well, the mailman doesn't just take your stuff and resend it for you.
It's fun.
And just, it's just a repetitive pattern from the divorce and the times I didn't talk to him, or any time I would just say, hey, here's the truth, I'm coming at you with the truth, and just hang up. And
So you mean that there's two men that are in conflict with each other?
Well, Chris, when he brought up Chris's,
it's
yeah.
there's two men and you're in the middle.
Well, I'm in the middle, but at the same time, I understand why Chris is in conflict in it, because Chris doesn't like how he's treating me, and it's,
right.
you know.
No, I'm not saying anything about you. All I'm saying is that Spirit's telling me you're in the middle of these two men. Right?
Yeah.
You are. You are.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut that out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I would just make your, it's almost like drawing the line in the sand.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then you just have to be honest and tell your dad, this is the story, this is what's happening. I'm planning my wedding. This is the date. You can tell whatever. And then, let your fiance know that you've done this. And and bless it. And then it is what it is. However, if you do it via email, via whatever, bless it, send it off, and it is what it is. You've done your part. And you just know the intent that your wedding's going to be beautiful, and you've done everything you can for this beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about. It's just like, what are these people doing?
You just have to let it go. I mean, honestly, I feel you having a sense of peace. You're not going to get that sense of peace unless you literally, tell them what's on your mind, both, bless it, and then just know, I almost feel like you need to be a little selfish on this and say, this is my day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I feel like it's good. It's literally, you do that and a lot of garbage, a lot of stuff is released.
Yeah, and just really just be like, hey, firm, this is my day.
You don't have to be, not disrespectful at all. Just say, hey, this day is really important to me. This is what's going on. I'd love you to be there, but these are what's required. And then bless it. If you send an email, bless it. Before you send it out, before you hit the send button, bless it. And know that your day's being blessed. Okay, do you guys have any questions for us?
I had to say this. I had to do this. Because you're going to hate me for it. Okay, let it go. Let it go. I'm playing song, Let It Go. It's a theme. It's a theme between us that drives Polly crazy. But the theme of Let It Go is like a big theme in so many things. And I really believe, for Amanda, for sure, it is kind of like, you know what? It's like, you know what? Everything works out in the end. If it hasn't worked out yet, it's not the end, and it's all going to be good. So just let it go. Let it go. It's all good. Yeah. All right, so let's wrap it up here, and we've got a few more minutes to just open it up to both of you amazing ladies to ask any questions that we can answer right now. Let's go to Kirsten first.
Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure how to word this question, but it was about, I'm wondering, a general question about relationships for me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I can tell you, and then Max will go, but I can tell you, you've got these two guys, but I feel like they're kind of immature behind you, and Max is crinkling up his nose. But they're people that they're almost kind of more friends than anything else. I feel that it'll be a while because who you will end up being with is going to be like a really solid, super solid, mature guy. I mean, he's, I'm hearing 28, but he's like, the super, like boy next door type, super solid boy next door. And I almost feel like you're going to meet him in a work environment.
Okay.
I feel like that too. I feel like your time, remember that pentacle card that I pulled for you? This is your time to work on honing your intelligence. This is all about you. You remind me, you have such a similar vibration to a very good friend of mine that's in New York City, that's from the South, that came to New York. She went to NYU, she went through law school and everything, and now she works for a law firm really working to shift and change people's lives around the world. and she is very similar to you, very similar vibration, a beautiful girl, smart as heck, and I think that it really is the time for you to be, and I know you don't really want to hear this, but I think it's the time for you to like, oh, let's date, let's have fun, whatever. But I really think that in the next few years, it's going to be about that. Don't worry. Let it go. Let it go. There's a little bit of a let it go thing, and I think that you might be trying to make square peg and round hole.
I need to like explain it a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Are you trying to make a relationship something that it's not a little bit?
No. It's just I'm having I feel something, and I'm trying to like explain it to you, and I don't know if it's like.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
say
a lot of
Just
anxiety. So I feel like I know this one guy very well. Okay. I feel like I have this connection with him that's either a past life thing or I don't know. I just feel like somehow I'm either meant to be with him or I have shared a past life with him, and for some reason it's not like I can like shake it almost. I can't get rid of it. It's like if I tried, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Not that I even want to, but it's like a blockage almost.
Yeah, it's a blockage. Yeah, it's a blockage.
Here and
You're trying. Remember when I said square peg and round hole? And
right.
you can take anything that Polly says, anything that I say, and you can say they're full of crap. Whatever, I don't care. But I get very vibrationally that it is something that you are trying to make into something. You can feel it, which I'm not going to deny your feelings at all, because your feelings are telling you something. But I feel like it's kind of a distraction a little bit from you becoming really the woman that you should be, because you're operating from a little girl point of view in this, to me, and that's what I'm getting to. That just look at it like this. You can choose whatever you want, Kirsten, but I feel like it's definitely about you saying, you know what? This is what it is. We'll see what happens, but in the meantime, I am working on my intelligence. I'm working on my thing. We'll see what happens, because I think you're too obsessed with making that into something. Right. I don't know. Polly, does that make sense to you?
Okay, well, just when I tuned into the guy, and I see people next to each other, and so I
doesn't mean I think he's a bad person.
No. I see him behind you. I see him looking around, kind of off to the side. So he's not even that. I mean, he probably thinks you're wonderful, but he's not like that into like aware of all of you, like all of your wonderfulness. But you have in the future this super awesome, super solid. Like I would have to describe him as super solid, but he's athletic. He's just super, he's super successful. That's another way I describe him. You have that coming to you. So that's down the road. In the meantime, blah. But do you have little brothers?
I have one little brother.
Because that's who I keep seeing behind you, kind of looking, and he looks a little bit like you, because that's who I keep seeing behind you and like looking to see what you're doing because he thinks it's so much fun. Like how you're living your life.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm sorry, I'm really bad at explaining. I'm just trying to think and process everything, but
just know you have this fabulous, like really fabulous, solid relationship marriage coming up. It's when you're a little bit older. It's when you're older.
Is that like really far in the future, or is it like in a few years? I'm wondering. I got a feeling.
Is that like when I'm 95?
I'm wondering because I'm getting a feeling on that too. I don't know. I'm sorry if it.
No, you're good. I just spoke. Get excited about your career, but because it's going to be your career where you meet your husband.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
It's good.
That made me drop my cards everywhere.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay. Kirsten? What was your mediumship question?
Well, I was wondering if you, by any chance, like, I know a lot of mediums are different, and I've had readings from other mediums before, and some of them will just tell you blatantly, honestly, this is what's happening. Like, they'll even say, like, somebody in your family's gonna die. Like, that harsh, right?
Yeah, walk away from that.
No. I mean, like, they'll tell you. And it's not, like, that harsh, but they'll tell you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if, by any chance, do you, like, tell people honestly, like, if for example, if somebody's going to die, would you say that? Or would you kind of change it to best suit the person? Or is it kind of...
Number one, I'll just quickly go because we're running out of time and I know Max wants to go. Number one, I really give messages that are going to be beneficial. That's number one. Number two, if I'm and this has happened, where somebody asks me a question and it's about somebody that they love, their physical health, if it feels too much, and I'm not going to share it with them anyhow, and physically it feels too much to me, it's like overwhelming for me, I shut that down because I don't feel like it's my place to say, you know, Aunt Mary Lou, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that. And I honestly, I don't want to feel that. And so it's not something that I can even comprehend. So no, I'm not going to share it with you because I only share what I can comprehend. And if it's something, does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
It's a tricky question. It's a tricky thing. It's very, and as an intuitive, that's very funny that you say that because I did a reading last week with someone.
Press the pickup button to answer.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Okay. I did something last week with somebody, and there was a situation where somebody was sick. And they didn't say it, but what they wanted to ask me was, are they going to die? And I had to go through a lot of different things going on. And see, the deal is that Amanda or someone maybe put on mute because I'm hearing myself. Maybe I'm not sure who it is. Both of you. Okay. So here's the deal. I had to go through this stuff, and because for me, I know there's no death, so it's hard for me to go like, well, okay, they're gonna die. That is very hard for me to say because I know that you don't even freaking die. It doesn't even matter. And if it's, and Polly will agree with me with this, if the message that someone's physical form might be terminating or going to the next level, if it's important enough that the person we're reading for needs to know, then it's not my judgment to say I'm not going to say that or not. And so sometimes I will be like, you know what, I get a sense that someone around you is going to transition soon, and that's okay. And so I will say that. But I'll tell you, with you, and I'm not, we are not like gods or goddesses here. We are just giving information we're getting in this moment. I'm not getting, if you're asking me, if you're asking us, if someone's going to transition soon, I'm not getting that vibration. So, the only mediumship vibration I got around you was that grace card that came from your grandmother. And I felt her around you and with you. Because I'm not just a medium. I'm an intuitive that's delivering messages. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just wondering because I've just seen so many different styles that...
Yeah. Everyone has a different style.
Yes.
And so our style is definitely much more easy and flowing and whatever happens and comes up. And if there is if the divine really needs to give a very intense message, I don't really back away from that. But I have to be honest, on this show, I don't always do it. But I'll be honest with you in this moment, I'm not feeling that from you. But in a private reading with just one-on-one, it's a little easier to bring up some heavy things if they come up. But nothing's coming up for me.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Amanda, what would you like to ask us before we wrap up?
Well, you answered my other questions, so that's good. I guess, is there any, just thinking of the mystical, I'm like, is there any guides around me? Because sometimes I'm like, thank you, universe, thank you, guides, like, thanks whoever's around. What's up?
You absolutely have guides. I mean, without a doubt. And I'll say, I feel like you're very guided, and I see that I feel like you pay attention to them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that there is a master guide around you, and their name starts with an O, like Oliver or Ollie or Olivia, something with an O around you. I don't know. I'm just giving you what I get when I get. Does that make sense at all?
Not really, but is it really gonna make sense?
I don't
Like,
know. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a sense that there. It's more like a female vibration around you. That's more of a master guide, and I think it's like an Olivia.
Okay.
You're definitely connected, and I believe that you will be more connected, and you're going to attract more as you do this teacher training, as you do this other stuff. Your vibration is just going to go up, 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 up. Somebody, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the idea of sisterhood, the female, that sisterhood stuff is really important to you. I mean, that's where you're going to really thrive. It's like this sisterhood, like you get into this little circle of, it's super supportive sisterhood type thing.
For sure.
So did you have, and then I know we got to go, did you have, or maybe you do now, but when you were a little kid, did you have like a little white dog that's like, it was like the size of like a little Scotty dog? If it doesn't mean anything, don't say it. Yeah, just let that go.
But I had a dog before. It was just a miniature Sheltie.
Oh, no, this was like a little white dog that was like a little, kind of looked like a little white Scotty dog that had one spot.
No, sorry. Oh.
It'll be somebody else.
Oh.
Its owner will appear.
Yes.
Maybe that's for someone out there. All right, we definitely have to wrap up. We are way over our time limit. And thank you all so much for hanging out. And thank you to our guest today. I am so pleased, and we love having you on here. We feel so honored that you're here. We feel so honored that you will spend the time and even just trust us with what we do here, because it takes a lot of trust to kind of be vulnerable and put yourself out there. So we're giving you a big, huge round of applause. Thank you so much. Yay! We love that. All right, so we do this every week. We're going to have no show in 2 weeks because I will be in New York and it's kind of crazy. But if you would like to have one of our participant seats down there on our panel, you can definitely apply to be on the show. And it's not apply, just say that you want to be on the show, and we can. I forgot it. Send an email to info@attractpositiveresults.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. We are kind of backlogged for a few weeks, but that's good. We like that. But if you would like a reading with us together on the show and to be here on Divine Messages, you can do that, info@attractpositiveresults.com. Or I do private readings, and so does Polly. I'll just tell you right now, for the next 3 days, if you would like a reading, a private reading with me, you'd like to book it, my normal readings are $150, and it will only be $100 if you book it in the next 3 days. And so that's before next, today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, before Sunday. It's only $100, say $50. If you'd like that, go to attractpositiveresults.com to go to the readings, and we will work that out for you. So I'm offering that, and follow me on Periscope, because every single day I'm giving meditations and we're doing fun things, and I think that's how Kristen and Amanda, both of you.
Oh, cool.
I think both of you found me that way.
Very cool.
So we love it, and Polly is on Periscope too. So we will see you next week, same time, same place. Polly, what would you like to say to everyone?
So I would like to offer everybody, so my website is Gateways 2Piece, and that's the number 2, gatewayes2piece.com.
Look, everyone.
Oh,
Here it is right there. I knew I created this for a reason, gatewayes2piece.com.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so if you contact me in the next 3 days, my readings are normally $88. I'll give you a reading for $50. So just go to my website, gatewayes2piece.com. And That's funny. And thank you, everybody. I love doing this. It's super exciting. And then Max and I, he's going to be in Alaska, and we're doing a live. We're doing a lot. So we might on that Thursday, Max.
We'll do it We'll both do it there.
Yeah.
In your house.
Yeah. That'll be really fun.
I love it. One last thing I was going to say. I forgot. Oh, shoot. Anyway, okay, there's a lot of things going on. Both Polly and I are very busy. There's a lot of ways to connect with us. Please go to Polly's website or my website. And you know what? We both pray that love will guide you every single day. And remember that you are always getting divine messages, even if you know it or not. We will see you next week at the same time and same place. And Amanda and Kirsten stay on the line when we leave. So bye, everyone. We'll see you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Hold on. Oh, wait. Eeks. Oh my goodness. Hold on, everyone. We will leave in just a second when my button comes back on. Hold on one second.
I lit a candle for everybody.